thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Peace to the family, peace to the Podcraft, peace to the Godcraft, peace to those anointed minds who have joined in the line today to turn up and wind down. This is another progressive episode of the Wind Down Wednesday, hosted by the Iron Suffer Hip Hop Killah Priest. He will be here shortly. I just wanted to get started so we can get started, okay? We have a special guest by special request to take us through our paroma. You understand what I'm saying? He does a lot of things, a lot of things. And we're going to get into one of the things he is best known for / least known for at the same time. So if you know, you know. And if you don't know, you're going to learn today, okay? You're going to learn today. So because my honor and privilege at the time to introduce some, present to others, the universal language decoder / translator, the one who takes symbols and allows a pathway for those symbols to become literate from the mind and uses symbology to help us understand our reality. My brother, master numerologist, amongst other things, the unread book podcast co-founder and co-host here with us tonight on the Wind Down to turn us up as we wind down. My brother, Jersey's flyest, you understand? Because Jersey in the building tonight. You understand? I don't care where y'all from, but Jersey in the house tonight. My brother, Nick Westbrooks. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Peace to the God, peace to the audience. Thank you for this opportunity to come to the Killah Priest audience to, share my experiences and share the bit of information I have and for me to learn from you all who are tapping in, learn from the host, learn from the other guests that'll be coming in, because that's what it means to make knowledge born on this knowledge born day. But I'm in great spirits. February has been an interesting month. We're about halfway through it. People have been talking about January, how much January has been, but for me, February has been the doozy of the month as far as the energy, personal energy. There's things going on around me. It's been a very up and down month. So physically, my energy has been fluctuating, but I'm in good spirits, great vibes. It's always great to be here another day above ground. But thank you for having me on the platform.
Definitely. And as I said, Killah Priest will be joining us soon. So we're just going to get started and do what we need to do. So for those who may not be familiar with you and your specialty, can we start there? Your earliest recollection that got you intrigued and wanting to have a space of understanding numerology, devoid of how we see them just arranged.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, depending on how technical you want to get with the definition of numerology, numerology just means working with numbers. So we've all worked with numbers. We use numbers on a daily basis, and in the practical world, not just in our scholastic or formal education in our math classes, but when we talk about numerology as a metaphysical science, it's basically the symbolic or mystical meaning behind numbers. So going beyond adding, subtracting, dividing, multiplying numbers, each number carries a specific meaning. And we all have numbers attached to us, attached to our birthdays, attached to our names. So that's what the science of numerology is. It's using the numbers in one's name, birthday, events to interpret the vibration or frequency of the person that's holding that number, or that entity that's holding that energy. Now, as far as my origin story with numerology and this metaphysical science, it started with my fascination with the Nation of Gods and Earths. I'm not a member of the nation. You know, I receive bits and pieces of the lessons. I'm a lover, like Knowledge Born mentioned. I'm from New Jersey. I'm a lover of New Jersey hip hop. I grew up in a small town called, Neptune, New Jersey. That's right next to Allah's Paradise, Asbury Park. So there were a lot of, I was surrounded by a lot of gods. I'm a young brother, if you couldn't tell. So a lot of my peers, their fathers and uncles were members of the Nation of the Gods and Earths. So I was around them, hearing the lingo, hearing them build on the supreme math. And out of all of the lessons and aspects of the nation, it was the supreme math that stood out and stuck with me the most. So that's what I learned. That's what I committed to memory. I started building on the supreme math. And another thing tidbit that I'll add about numerology is that there are various systems of numerology. The supreme mathematics is one system of numerology. You also have Chaldean numerology, Pythagorean numerology. You have Kemetic numerology, Chinese, Japanese. You have the Kabbalah in the Hebrew. So you have all these systems of numerology. Some of them overlap. Some of them, each number carries a distinct or different meaning to it. So supreme mathematics was the first system of numerology I learned. And then around 2013, when I was a student at Howard University in Washington, D.C., I had a brother in my Intro to Egyptian Hieroglyphs class who was an ambassador for Brother Anthony Browder's Egypt on the Potomac cultural field trip, in which he takes you around Washington, D.C., and he shows you the influence of ancient Kemet on the Freemasonic founding fathers and their layout and their design of Washington, D.C. And that's when I got introduced to Kemetic or Egyptian numerology, that system of numerology. And the ambassador, he showed us throughout the city of Washington, D.C., where the numbers show up and what they symbolize. Then around either 2014 or 2015, when I relocated back to Jersey, I moved up to North Jersey from the shore area. I was living and working in Newark, first getting into the field of education. I'm a high school English teacher. So when I was first getting my introduction into the education field, I was going out to the community, attending events. I attended the ASCAC conference at Essex County College one year, and I passed by this brother. He was passing out handbills in the lobby area where all the vendors were. So I got that handbill, and I started going to the events, going into the city. I went into the city to the Million Youth rally in Harlem. And then I got a handbill about another event. And I mentioned the Million Youth rally because that leads up to how I learned about numerology. So I get this. So I go to that event, and then when you go to events, you find out about more events. And I found out about this event at Nicholas, Brooklyn, and one of the presenters or one of the speakers was the goddess MC Narubi Selah. I saw her perform at the Million Youth rally, just tearing it down, going in on the microphone. She performed that joint Hookless Part 2. So when I saw that,
that's it.
I was like, man, I need to go see her again. I don't know what she's gonna be presenting on, what she's gonna be speaking on, but the way she gave it up at the Million Youth rally, I'm like, yeah, I gotta go see her again. So I go to this event at Nicholas, Brooklyn. It was hosted by a brother named King Simon. I've never heard of this brother named King Simon, but he was the one that handed me the handbill at the ASCAC conference in Newark. So I go to this event specifically to see Narubi Selah. She ended up not being able to come to the event. So, you know, I came all the way out to Brooklyn. So I just stayed there and hung out to see what else was going on. Now, this brother named King Simon, I found out that he was a numerologist, and I never heard of numerology. I'm like, what's that? So when he got up and did his presentation on numerology, he explained it as a science that's a close cousin to astrology. So if you're not familiar with numerology, I know most people are familiar with the zodiacs. So it's very similar to astrology in that it gives us insights about who we are and our traits and the cycles we go throughout our lives. And for a while, I didn't subscribe to these sciences. Of course, I never heard of numerology, but astrology I didn't subscribe to. My 10th grade science teacher told the class it was pseudoscience and don't believe it. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Those descriptions that they have in the newspaper, they're arbitrary and they can describe anyone. So for a while, I did not subscribe to astrology or anything of that nature. But listening to King Simon speak on astrology and share that the world's elites are using it, your billionaires, your JP Morgans of Chase Bank, and President Ronald Reagan have an astrologer, Walt Disney have an astrologer. I said, wait a minute, if these powerful elite men that are running the world are using this, then maybe there is something to this. So that's when I opened my mind to the sciences of astrology and numerology. And I guess I lean more towards numerology because of my background, having learned the supreme mathematics and also the simplicity of numerology. With astrology, there's a lot to it. You have all these degrees and decans and houses. With numerology, as one of my teachers, Lloyd Strayhorn, says, as long as you can count on your fingers, you can do numerology. From there, it's just learning the meanings of each of the numbers. So I started studying numerology. I got King Simon's book, and then I learned that his teacher, Lloyd Strayhorn, which is also my teacher, I also consider King Simon one of my teachers too. Well, he would say participant. I was a participant of King Simon's classes, and I read his books. So I studied on him indirectly. And then with Lloyd Strayhorn, I studied under him indirectly for a while. And then I took one of his actual live courses over the summer. So I had the opportunity to actually learn from him in real time. And then from there, that's when I decided to take numerology public. For a while, I was just doing it for myself to deepen my knowledge of self. As Dr. Woods, one of my professors at Howard said, he says the most important knowledge you can get is knowledge of self. So I just saw numerology as another tool of knowledge of self, for me. So I was just using it for myself, but in my excitement and learning about it and having my reading with King Simon 1 hour on the phone, and he broke down everything for me, I got excited and I started sharing it with people. I started sharing it with my closest friends. Then after a while, they started asking me questions about it. So I'm answering their questions. I'm starting to practice on them and generate reports for them. And this is around 2017. So between the years of 2017 and 2020, I was practicing a little inconsistently. When 2020 came, I started really getting on my square and practicing more consistently again. And by the time the summer of 2024 came around, that's when I had that opportunity to study with the elder Brother Lloyd in a live forum, real-time forum. And from there, I decided to become a professional. That was the focus of the workshop, was how to become an astronumerologist professionally. And when I say astronumerology, that's the combination of astrology and numerology, since numbers rule over zodiac signs and planets, and vice versa. So I'm still learning the astrological parts of it. Well, I'm still learning all of it, holistically, but I have more of a deeper background with the numbers than I do the astrology. So it's, I'm still a student, always a student. As you see, I'm very, very young in this, in this science. So I wouldn't, Knowledge Born called me a master. I wouldn't consider myself a master yet. I consider the elders that I learned from to be the masters. I'm on my way to becoming a master because this is just the beginning of the journey for me. And when I started my business, I named it Supreme Numerics as a tribute and a nod to the supreme mathematics of the nations of gods and earths, and also from a conversation that Lloyd Strayhorn had with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, in which Brother Farrakhan told Lloyd that what you're doing with numerology is supreme mathematics. So it was influenced by those factors, and the name is also influenced by the numbers themselves. I mentioned earlier in this introduction that numerology shows up in your name. Each letter of the alphabet is assigned a numerical value, and it might, it's not on the screen, it's up above me, but when I transpose supreme numerics and assign numerical values to each letter in that name, the numbers add up to the numbers that are in my frequency. So we all have our personal numbers, our key numbers. Sometimes we call them our power numbers. So when that's a little gem for you all out there who are interested in numerology. If you're coming up with a name of a business, or if you're coming up with a nickname or some type of attribute, find out what your personal numbers are and try to have that name add up to the sum of, or the same sum as your personal numbers. So my personal numbers are 4, 1, and 8. In one system of numerology, Supreme Numerics adds up to an 8, and another system that adds up to a 1. So there's 2 of my numbers right there. So that's the story, the long story, the elongated introduction to my journey into numerology. And like I said, I'm just getting started. So it's all up from here.
Now, despite this youthful appearance of this master, okay, and he said he took a while to explain this journey, but this journey is about 27, 28 years that he showed you and kept you engaged, and didn't say, 27 years ago, I was sparked, right? And then describing the process of 27 years. 27 years to 30 years is a Saturn return. So when you got sparked in that space of the origin story, quote unquote, civilization is where the knowledge and wisdom first happened, when the planet was made. So when that planet was made known to you in that way, then you begin walking on the journey. So there's a path to knowledge. I always tell people. We look at knowledge and then be like, oh, knowledge ain't nothing if it's not applied. They say that all the time because they don't know the difference between knowledge and wisdom. There's a pathway to arrive at knowledge. You just described the process in 27 years to go from information to a variance of lived experiences, filtrations, add, take away, study, sit down, throw it away, pick it back up, lived experiences. All of that process is the process of refining information, having people show and prove, you show and prove, test, trial, tribulation, it worked, it didn't work. I don't know about all that. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I heard you say all this, and continuously getting sparked over that process to arrive at knowledge. And then you go look back through that information cycle and was like, oh, here. This is why here. Now you can chart the course from going from information to knowledge. So it's a space to go from information to knowledge. And then there's a process, a mathematical process of going from knowledge to born. So this is why supreme mathematics was such a thing that stayed with you, or whether or not the other things didn't, because there was a mission that was there, and you had to find one who would be most palatable to give that to you in the way that you understood. So you just described. I'm just cueing in the listening audience, like, nah, this wasn't yesterday, and today this was 2 decades and a half plus some of study, research, everything before you arrive at a space. Now I'm like, okay, I'm going to start to share a little bit of what I learned.
That's right.
On this pathway. You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to share that real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before I let you respond, the reason why we both here, you understand? The reason why we're both here is for the Nakamati God body in the building. You understand? He got different metamorphoses, different names. You understand what I'm saying? But the reason for the wind down and the reason for this illustrious platform, the Iron Software Hip Hop, ladies and gentlemen, Godcraft, Podcraft, put your hands together and show your love for the fire maker, the one and only Killah Priest.
Peace. Peace. Almighty, what's good with you? Shout out to Nick Westbrooks.
Peace.
Word, no doubt. Almighty now is born. Yeah, I apologize. I forgot. I got my dates kind of like mixed up. We're going to we're going to Mexico. So I had to get ready and stuff like that. I forgot that because it's like at 12 o'clock. So we had to set that up. Word. So I'm like, whoa. So I'm running behind a little time. What's good though?
We're getting busy. We got a disciple of our brother King Simon and Lord Strayhorn here in the building.
Wow.
He come with great recommendation. So yeah.
Oh, okay. That's great. That's greatness right there.
Appreciate it.
Shout out to A.A. Rashid. I just saw him. A.A. Rashid.
Legend. To the God.
Legend.
Yeah. He was out there building. Word. So
Yeah. A.A. get it in with the Kabbalah, so he could get it in with the gematria. Yep. That side of the numerology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Indeed.
What you got for us, man? What you got?
Oh yeah. So we just opened up with my backstory, my origin of how I arrived to this position in this journey, and I was just getting ready to tell Knowledge Born that knowledge is also the foundation of all things. So this was the foundation building process. Your foundation has to be strong, or else whatever you try to build up is going to collapse. And that's significant for today's mathematics, for being knowledge born. And when you add up that knowledge born and get that knowledge cipher, that cipher is that full circle, reminding you that we got to return back to the origin. We have to return back to the foundation in order to build that strong foundation. I'm born on the 22nd, 2 + 2 = 4. So in another system of numerology, that's foundation as well. But the 4 and 1 are sun numbers, so that 4 and 1 go together. So I just wanted to add that on to what Knowledge Born just built on in response to my origin story. But yeah,
so
I mean,
since Priest is here, I don't know how long he's gonna be with us. I know he got to get ready and do what he needs to do. So Priest is born on the 16th. So if we could take a little moment to deal with August 16th, you understand? That's a intergalactical hip hop celebration for us all. You understand what I'm saying? And it's significant in his family, not just with him, but other members of his family. So somebody born on the 16th, what's the significance of 1 and 6 and 16?
All right. So when we add up the 1 to 6, that's 7. That's that's God right there. that's God's. And when when I was listening to the songs in the intro, going in on the Nag Hammadi and all of the ancient wisdom and the knowledge, that's right in alignment with the number 7. When you think about the number 7, of course 7 is God. 7 is everything that's spiritual, and there's 2 sides to the 7 as well that I can see from the God Killer Priest. There's the spiritual side, the spiritual and metaphysical side, but there's also the analytical side of the scientists. So the sharpest of the minds, they find a balance between the two instead of leaning towards one or the other. That number 7 is a deep thinker. They're going to go within and really reflect, really introspect. They're going to get away from all of the chaos and confusion and the noise to dwell in that solitude and to go into deep meditation. I could tell that's where the music and that art comes from. It comes from that deeply entrenched and rooted meditation. He's going into meditation and then picking up the pen and writing down those downloads. So that's what that 7 is all about. On the positive side, on the challenger side, because he's so deep in his mind, he has to make sure he doesn't go overboard with it and go into overthinking and worrying and anxiety and not isolate himself too much from his tribe and the people that love him. So just a little bit, it's a little bit about the 7 there. And the 7 is ruled by the planet Neptune. It's also connected to the moon, just like the number 2. So that's connected to the element of water. Yep. Yep. So it's a little something there.
Wow, connected to the element of water. Could you expound on that a lot? A little bit
more? Sure. So just like when we talk about with astrology and the zodiacs, each zodiac sign is connected to an element: fire, earth, water, air. Numbers are the same way. And when you think about how the behavior and the attributes of those elements play out in the human experience. So water is usually connected to emotions, so and emotions can sway either way depending on how you vibrate on the number. You could be sensitive in a balanced way. You could become overly sensitive, or you could be overly emotional, or you could be balanced in your emotions. And depending on what else you have in your charts, you said August 16th, right? Yeah, so you had that one. You had the 1 and the 6 in front of it. So that water is balanced out with the fire energy of the 1 and the earth energy of the 6. So you have some balance there with the combination of the passion, the emotion, and that stability and practicality of the 6. So this is how the elements connect to the numbers. And then when we get into the astrological side, of it, that brings a element that comes into play as well to give you a fuller picture.
Heavy. That's peace. That's peace right there. Watermelon on there. Yo, it's gonna be a great show. I already know. So I gotta. Hello. Froze already.
We can hear you.
You good, Preach?
Yeah, I don't be knowing what the electricity or the elements be high. Yeah, this gonna be heavy. So like I said, I'm gonna be tuning in because I gotta get ready. Word. So Solo Jim's in the building. Word. We're gonna be up out of here.
Solo Jim.
Peace to the God. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna tune in.
All right.
Right. Peace. Good meeting you, God. Yeah,
peace,
yeah.
God.
Yeah. And then I know that the sister Sunshine, when she tap in, she's gonna bring a whole other element and perspective to it. I checked out some of her knowledge and content. Yeah, she brings a whole other element to it. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a powerful evening. What would you call it? Turning up the wind down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because today is governed by Mercury.
Yep. Wednesday
today is governed by Mercury, so everything is in alignment. So you could be combative with your speech, or you could be lulling with your speech. So Priest does both with the microphone.
Yeah. We could build. Yeah, we could build on that energy today, on that communication energy, because we got Mercury, but we also have today's calendar date adding up to a 1. When we add that 1 + 9 = 10, 1 + 0 = 1. One of the traits or characteristics that comes with that 1 in terms of communication is being straightforward with others and saying what you meaning what you say, getting straight to the point on the positive side. But on the negative side or the challenger side, it can come across as arrogance. It can come across as being bossy or demanding. And then we also have more communication energy when we add up today's day, month, and year. So when we add up February 19th, 2025, that adds up to a number 3. And the number 3 is connected to expression and using one's voice, recognizing that one's voice has power, especially verbally, and using it on the positive side to express yourself. So whatever you're expressing and getting out to who's ever listening, you want to make sure that it's helpful, it's truthful, and it's necessary. Because on the negative side, it can lead into gossip, scandal, and controversy. That number 3 energy. So just to show how it's in alignment with Mercury, we have a lot of communication energy going on. We're in a 5 universal week, which is also a communication number, literary number for writing and dealing with the public, speaking to the public. We're here speaking to the public today. I'm on this platform. I usually do my broadcasts on the weekends, unread book review on Saturday, my weekly numerology forecast on the weekends, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes Monday. But it's no coincidence that we're here on this Wednesday that's adding up to a 3 universal day, expressing ourselves and speaking truth to power on this platform.
That's what it is. That's what it is. So you said today adds up to what number?
And so we got two energies going on. So we have the calendar day. Today's the 19th. And when you add up to that single digit, 1 + 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1. You have the number 1. And when you take the entire date, the month, the day, and the year, and you add February plus the 19th plus 2025, that adds up to a 3 when you reduce it all down to a single digit.
All right, let me tell you how right and exact you are.
Okay.
The first sign in the zodiac is Aries.
That's right.
The third sign in the zodiac is Gemini.
Yep, and I
so
missed
you
that
said
number 5 week.
You said straightforward communication, blah blah blah, this, and then you said, all right, Mercury, right?
Yep.
Gemini, right? So literally, that's that right there. So it makes perfect sense mathematically. So what I'm gonna do real quick, because Virgo Sunshine is here in the building, all right? She's here in the building. So I'm going to bring her on in a second, but I'm going to play a quick song and get it together and put the motions in motion.
Oh, so yeah. You got to introduce her right. Right and exact.
So let's get it together and tell somebody we live, okay? We just got leveled up, okay? We just got leveled up. So let's get into it. We'll be right back here on the Wind Down with Nick Westbrooks and Miss Virgo Sunshine herself, Sunshine Monie L. We about to get real deep, okay? I hope y'all ready, all right? Hope y'all ready.
Play more Killah Priest. Play more Killah Priest. King of Dadanari, kicking wise words to Matani, dress godly, the book of Proverbs I embody, student enrollment, my music's golden, with writtens that influence my opponent, I'm fluent when I'm flowing, the words from faculty to nurture, carved out in murder, priest rockin' cherry, that's from Persia, write rhymes using old English curses, like I'm from 685 BC circa, get off your knees, you know not what you worship, but salvation's for the merchants, black child of the Berbers, the ruler saw her dawn, write it in a book made of bronze, said like you pushing my creative palms. When I was born, there was major storm. A black god in his greatest form. I'm what real rap listeners was waiting on. I mastered the 7 skills, so I was taking long. Then went back and got the 8. That's not in the book. It's not seen, not spoken. Only true masters can relate. In this place, there's no time, no date. God says you have to rhyme to be great. Abanawa Shabbat Shemayim, a whole lion. Like Gilgamesh and write a scroll in Solar Zion. Ishtar in front of Urdu Malisi. Sit on his throne easy and write a poem weekly. Priest in his own, my microphone become a species. All on its own, new chromosomes. Bones Marvel DC. My impact on rap. To free all the righteous people trapped. I'm overstead and we under attack. Bismarcky music was godly. 82 they dropped Atari. 26 empty clips, John Gotti. Killah Priest hip hop version of Bob Marley. Amongst the Ansars, Israelite Muslims and God bodies. Now we got the whole taps. As far as deep, only priest flow is left. I took an oath to hold a set. The Ashur Iden of writing. Holy Bible Genesis chapter 6. Speak on the giants. Our favorite anime, Attack on Titans. Favorite boxer, Mike Tyson. When rhyming, I miss the excitement. Play more Killah Priest. Golden. Gold play more Killah Priest. It's a mile away. Shout out to all the DJs. Stop the rhyme with the skills. Killah Priest keeps it real. We want it like that, so we got it like that. We want it like that, so we got it like that. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. The black Jews to the 52 states. All those who relate, this is not up for debate. The stars form a hexagon shape. Metatron in the face. My body forms in the Babylon race. Through megastorms, electrons made a heart pulsate. Peace to Capadon, Raycorn and Ghostface. Islam is your faith. Open Qurans beneath Ramadan dates. A Hittite king assassinated by a Syrian prince. A chronicle from the honorables recorded the event. Also with the help and the blessings of a religious establishment. Priest is the dragon in the trench. stench. It's raining badly, I'm throwing daggers while I'm drenched. On the top of his palace, I scale down, looking through his windows, eating salad. Holding a chalice, I'm moving silence. Like smoke, you'll never taste the scope on your palate. Who wanna hold their throat in a challenge? Bleeding out, trying to stop the blood while I kneel on the prophet rug. Shots blow through the window, snowflakes in my memento. Gold plates, blindfold, tied up, pillowcase. Foreign voice asking me for info. They fed me whiskey till I'm pickled. They hit me in the arm with the sickle, but I'm calm and official. Alarms whistle, royal priesthood came with the game. Save the Messiah, fire rain. Armageddon, the beast beheaded, we reign supreme. Play more Killah Priest. Play more Killah Priest. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Play more Killah Priest. Play more Killah Priest. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Play more Killah Priest. Play more Killah Priest. Fade and fake one. Yo, you need some understanding. Here we go, here we go. To learn the laws and commandments, cause we're learning. Yo, city, our mind is gonna blame. Not using our mind. We're not using our mind. We're losing it every day. You know what I mean? Priesthood. We always seem distracted. I'm distracted. Our magic always cause a reaction when we're real magic, rap magic. You know what I mean? In the streets of the city, Brooklyn, Bronx. Little solo gems. Let's go. Hebrews always talk about reparation. I came here from another world. What we say? With just a hood on me. Just a hood. It's a ooh. Just a hood on me.
Call on me, solar flares fulfill your needs. Juice invoking Beetle G. Say my name in threes, one liberation. Call on me, solar flares fulfill your needs. Juice invoking Beetle G. Say my name in threes, one liberation. Call on me, solar flares fulfill your needs. Juice invoking Beetle G. Say my name in threes, one liberation. Call on me, I'm in Rasha, like the dreams. Coronas aligned in the star seeds. I am grounded in my own authority. Oda Mila be the with your moja for my Dorothy. Following the gold road, attentions make my soul glow. Eshwa rule makes my heart chakra throat flow. I got my flippy floppy sailing with the boat hose. Prestige worldwide and all of these hoes know I am my strong man and I am my magician. I move so beneficent, universal loves the mission. In abundance I am efficient with my intentions. Affirmations manifest my visions with extensions. Essential to these isms as delicious to the living. Virgo sunshine bring life, maintain your existence. What's next for a queen of pentacles who's here to end the cynical. Voice with affirmations so lyrical, designed to uplift the spiritual. She keeps basking in her miracles. Sun card to her mercurial sidereal. Death card for breaking fast, so serial. Alignments be materializing ever so ethereal. Wands brings the actions to my passion. My feng shui is high fashion, main attraction. Helios abundance where you lacking. Circulation flowing where you seem so stagnant. Strength card to your reaches. Transformations when the doubt seems to creep in. May my light keep increasing. Let it shine for who needs this. Say my name in threes, one liberation. Call on me, solar flares fulfill your needs. Juice invoking Beetle G. Say my name in threes, one liberation. Call on me, solar flares fulfill your needs. Juice invoking Beetle G. Say my name in threes, one liberation. Call on me, solar flares fulfill your needs. Juice invoking Beetle G. Say my name in threes, one liberation. Call on me, I'm in Rasha, like the dreams. Coronas aligned in the star seeds. I am present, I am patient, I feel so secure. I feel confident in saying I have my wants and more. I move in gratitude, discernment what I'd rather do. My inner child took the wheel and it's feeling radical. My Helios is so infectious. From my third eye to solar plexus, made my motives be my lesson. And with my heart I do accept them. I'm balancing these chakras. With my medulla oblongata, I'm finger flipping, mudras, drinking water, and minding my empire. Say my name in threes, one liberation. Call on me, solar flares fulfill your needs. Juice invoking Beetle G. Say my name in threes, one liberation. liberation, call on me. Solar flares, fulfill your needs. Juice invoking Beetle G. Say my name in threes, want liberation, call on me. Solar flares, fulfill your needs. Juice invoking Beetle G. Say my name in threes, want liberation, call on me. I'm in Rasha, like the dreams. Coronas aligned in the star seeds.
So it becomes my honor and privilege at this time to introduce some, present to others the Virgo sunshine, the astrological, astronomical, the mercurial, sidereal, the starseed aligner, the starseed activator, the starseed motivator, the starseed gatherer, here to give us some of that astrological, astronomical, supreme mathematical chakra salutation. The less Nobodies advocate, a mother, a profound poet, a writer, an author, and a truth teller and a truth seeker. My sister, again, Jersey, I'm telling you, this is Jersey moment right now. You understand? This is Jersey moment right now. Jersey is up in here deep. All right, so watch your tone and keep your hands on your head. Less Nobodies on CEO Sunshine Monie. Yo, you on mute. You're on mute.
There we go. I was giving thanks to my intro. We love it here.
That's it. I love it. How are you?
All is well. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Happy Wednesday.
Yes.
Word.
Yes, peace.
Peace.
That was you on that last song?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, okay.
It was in the chat like, who this? But I had to say about who this. I said Virgo Sunshine. They said they're like,
that sounds.
You literally got to say your name in threes because they like,
Hello, Sunshine.
Yeah.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, if y'all wanted to know who that was that was playing just now, right before we came on, this is who it is. Okay, say her name in threes. So liberation, call on me, Sunshine Monie, aka Virgo Sunshine.
Traffic lights. Glad to be here, guys. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling on this wonderful day of 3?
We here, 3ing it up.
3ing it up.
Gemini. You know what I'm saying? We here Gemini. All right.
Gemini. Oh yeah, because Gemini rule over the 3rd house. We love it here.
We hit Gemini and make a knowledge born, the knowledge born day, and that's Sunshine on their day too.
Right, it's a Mercurian day.
Look at that divine alignment, okay? So
yeah.
We here on this 3 day, it's 3 twos, right? 22 and 2. That's 3 twos, right? On the knowledge born day, and we here to make knowledge born. So I'm not saying that now. I'm gonna do knowledge.
Oh yeah, you know I love my 19s. We almost to my half birthday.
Let's go.
Yeah, we 1 month away. Y'all ready? I love the knowledge being born.
That's it. Ain't no limited time. Mm-hmm. So I asked you here specifically to be specific and specific about something. So you can take us on the journey however you want to take us on the journey. We've heard about astrology as a whole. And, for however long it's been around, 1 billion years, people are still only getting pieces of it. So now when you get into a niche or a special place of that vast universal language, and you start talking about Vedic astrology, now it's like, huh? I just thought it was whatever it was because, Nick and I was talking about it earlier. He said, folks in the paper, they go to the paper, this is as far as they go, it's their horoscope. All right, well, what they say I'm doing today type of situation. And and a place that got worldwide attention. How do they have an astrology section? Where I'll leave that for you, right? But then Vedic astrology in the midst of not sidereal, not whatever we know in the West as astrology, get into those aspects. So for you, Vedic astrology, what was that path? And astrology as a whole, like what kind of pulled you into that? Use Nick word today. Your origin story for astrology and the study thereof, and then how you got into the study of Vedic astrology.
Well, when I started getting deeper into astrology, I started hearing about Vedic astrology, and it's like this mindset of when I learn something new, I should get rid of the old or get rid of what I already knew, and I don't be on that type time. I like to see how everything kind of intertwines and complements one another. Otherwise, like if it didn't complement one another in some type of way, shape, or form, it wouldn't have been here. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I already know I'm the goddess of the crossroads. I like all of the directions. And so, with the tropical, the zodiac energy, it's more so like mindset with the 360-degree circle and the 1230 degrees. Now, when you get into Vedic, you get more so into like the actual happenings and events of the things. Because you get into like the stars, like some of the so like when you're dealing with tropical is like straight, like you're dealing with 30 degrees, 10 degrees cardinal, 10 degrees mutable, 10 degrees fixed inside each zodiac. But not every constellation is a whole 30 degrees. Some constellations are bigger, some constellations are smaller. They got different stars within the constellation that give off different electromagnetic fields. So when you get into a planet like near around a certain like degree in minutes, it's around a different kind of star. So that's giving it a different kind of electromagnetic field. Like I do a daily mathematics and an astronomical report. And I not only talk about like where the sun is at on a tropical and the moon tropical, and I get into draconic too, which is your soul experience, but I also get into the Vedic astrology of it all, where you see like, okay, these are some happenings that you might experience in your emotional self, where the moon being over here by today was the Swati Nakshatra. We started the day off with that. That was the 15th lunar mansion. And then by the end of the day, we got into the 16th lunar mansion, which we'll probably talk about later on tonight when I do the mathematics. And the sun or the earth, depends on if you use a heliocentric or a geocentric model. They only move, it only moves a degree a day, either way. So like, we've been in the Dhanishta Nakshatra since like 26 degrees Capricorn. And so we're here for another couple days. So, you get into the events, and that's why they say like, oh, this is more accurate and stuff like that, because people are more so into the seeing is believing rather than the thoughts or the spiritual experience that the tropical and the draconic chart bring. So like I said, personally, I think all three of them complement one another. I think they all go hand in hand. If you want to talk about tropical, you're talking about your mindset, your thoughts. You want to talk about Vedic, you're talking about energy exchanges, your body, and then you're talking about draconic, you're talking about your soul. And then like you could even break it down to like, I'm probably going off on a tangent. It's a habit. When you get into like the 10 worlds in the solar system, you get into the 10 Sephiros, and you got the 4 elements of each Sephiro, and that will be like the tropical, Vedic, draconic, charts or whatever. You don't really get into fire too much, because fire is spirit, and that bring you to a whole different like level above the Ketters. But the air, the water, and the earth, you have that with mind, body, and soul. So yeah, that's I don't want to go too far off, but like that's where I be at with the Vedic astrology.
See, I was telling Knowledge Born earlier before you came on why I started with numerology first instead of going to astrology, and you just proved my point, because that was a lot. There's a lot of moving parts there.
It's definitely a lot. Man, I feel the same way about numerology, because like when you get into numerology on like, you got supreme mathematics, then you got the Sephiros, But the Sephiroth is set up a little different than like the numerology realm a little bit. And like say if I'm dealing with 3, right? If I'm dealing with 3 in the Sephiroth, I could be dealing with the Gemini house in astrology. I could deal with expressions and emotions in the numerology realm, or I could be dealing with Saturn, Bina energy, you know, understanding and supreme mathematics, a Sephiroth type drawing. So it's like, you know, it's different ways to read the number 3. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'll be doing the crossroads. I'll be making everything complement each other. But like, yeah, like like everything is just so infinite, you know. Like you could look at a 3 all day long and not be done.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So many different ways that you can look at it, and I like that you're into the crossroads. I call it looking at things holistically, looking at it from all angles, and see how everything comes into play, and everything plays a role, you know, in there somewhere. Because like you said, it wouldn't exist if it didn't.
Right.
Yeah. Now you said it's called the Cipher what?
The Sephiroth, when you get into the tree of life, like in the yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See, I'm not even familiar with that. Okay.
Yeah, I get into that heavy when I do the mathematics. I started doing these Sunday master classes, and I think I talk about the Sephiroth more so when we talk about building your own astrology. I mean, building your own tarot deck, because you know that direct correlation with the tarot deck and Kabbalah and you know the tree of life and stuff like that is heavy there. And so I think out of all the master classes, I talk about that the most there. Or like, you know, Metu Netter Volume 1, that's like my Bible. So even when you get into the back of that book, like chapter 19 or so, you start getting into the connections of the different deities with astrology and numerology and all that stuff like that. That touches on that as well. You see how like interconnected everything is across like cultures and like times.
Yeah, wow. That's
so it's fun there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something. Yeah, that's something that I'm definitely intrigued by, and I'm definitely going to look more into. I mean, I always wanted to get into the tree of life. It was just you know, one of those things that I haven't gotten around to yet, but you know, it's in the queue. It's definitely in the queue. Yeah.
Yeah, it's real interesting. I enjoy it. I really do. I'm addicted to learning. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm addicted to learning, especially when it's in the realm of spirituality and metaphysics, and you start playing around with the, you know, law of nature and law of the universe and stuff like that. I'm very interested in things like that.
Indeed. Lifelong learners. That's what it's all about. Always a student. I love it. Same here. Always a student. Where the knowledge born just leave us to dialogue.
Probably they want to go do something. So what got you started in numerology? Like how long you been in this?
I've been in it. Well, technically I've been in this since about 2012, but again, we talk about this different systems of numerology. So throughout that journey, I picked up different systems. So around like 2012, I started with supreme mathematics. And then I got a brief introduction to the Kemetic numerology when I went on the Egypt on the Potomac field trip, you know, with Anthony Browder in DC. So I got a brief introduction to that around 2013. And then around 2016, 2017, I got introduced to Pythagorean and then Chaldean numerology. So those are the two that I mainly deal with now, you know, as far as, you know, breaking down the, you know, universal energy of the calendar. If I'm talking to someone, consulting with someone and breaking down their energy, I use those systems. Again, I don't feel the need to pick between one or the other because they're all, you know, they're both accurate. They both give you a fuller picture of that energy and of that person. So I try to incorporate both systems or as many systems as possible, but that's mainly what I use. And it started out with just me using it for myself as just another tool in my toolbox for knowledge itself. But in my excitement of sharing it with others, people start asking me questions about it. So I'm like, all right, let me get deeper into this so I can help people more. So that, you know, that's the short. That's the short of it. You can listen to the full story on the replay. That was like the first half hour of the show.
But what's the difference between Pythagorean and Chaldean? Because, like, all right, so backstory on that question is I saw this documentary on Hulu. It was like a documentary movie, and it was like Buried Beneath or something. And it was about this dude. He moved into this house in LA or whatever. And in the living room, like, they give off this idea that his house is haunted. So, like, in his living room is this everything floating in there. And so it get deeper into that, as far as like people intentionally building houses a certain kind of way to create like black holes, and cities have been built like in that Fibonacci type realm. So when you get to the middle of that Fibonacci, you do some crazy, and then you get into like the butterfly effect. So if I build houses a certain kind of way over here, it's affecting a pole shift over in Europe somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Is that kind of like in alignment with that? With the Pythagorean, because that's what they got into over there. They introduced, this is like they were communicating the Pythagoreans. I think they put an AS at the end of it. Like it was like some Illuminati type cult.
Yeah. Well, in that I guess that Greek history or whatever, they call Pythagoras the father of math. Of course, he learned from the Egyptians. He studied in Kemet for 22 years. So
right.
So the numerology, that's one aspect of the math. But of course, if you go back to your high school math class, you learn the Pythagorean theorem with the triangle and all that. So it sounds like there's multiple aspects of Pythagoras and the math that's attributed to him. But when we talk about the systems of numerology, we talk about the meaning of each number. The difference between the Pythagorean and the Chaldean is that Pythagorean is considered the more modern system, the newer system, while Chaldean is the older, more ancient, and it's a more mystical system. In the Pythagorean system, you're dealing primarily with the single digits of the numbers. You keep on adding until you get to the single digits. But with the Chaldean system, you also take into account the compound numbers and the double digits. And that kind of has like a hidden meaning before you get to that base number, that single digit number. So that's another difference. And then the numerical values for the letters is also different. So with Pythagorean, you just go across the line 1 to 9, and then you start over. With Chaldean, it's more randomized. It doesn't follow a particular pattern. And when it comes to the alphabet, they don't assign any numbers to the number 9, since they consider the number 9, really sacred, as opposed to the Chaldean system where you have, was it I and R that's assigned to the number 9?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have any letter assigned to the number 9 in the Chaldean system.
Interesting. Okay, I never knew what like the labels was to the numbers. Okay, I like that.
Yeah,
I started getting into the Chaldean order with the planetary hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is a harder system to learn, since you're learning the alphabet that doesn't really have a pattern to it, and you're also learning the compound meaning of the numbers and not just the single digit meaning of the numbers. So it's a little bit more involved, but like I said, it's the more ancient system, and it's a little bit more accurate, according to what I've studied about it.
I like that. So I be surrounded by numbers, and lately 11s and 1s been crazy on me. I'm a 11 life path, and I just like a lot of stuff that's happening on either a life path day of 11 or a day of 1. It's just been like catastrophic events.
So you
I'm trying to figure it out.
You probably been feeling this month of February heavy.
Oh yeah, this month been interesting, especially internally. I was going to ask you about that, because this is the month of 11. Like, how you feel? Like, how's the mindset with being in the month of 11 with Mars sitting over there in retrograde in Cancer? I don't know if you are you versed in the astrology that Mars and Cancer don't get along? It like debilitates Mars, and then it's in retrograde.
Because Mars is 9 and Cancer is number 2, so you have those number that they're in opposition. I was telling Knowledge Born at the beginning of this broadcast that, man, this month people were talking about how crazy January was, I guess, with everything going on in the world, but my personal energy, February has been more of a doozy for me than September. Honestly, like my energy has just been all over the place this month. Like, you know, I had a lot of energy today. Yesterday, I was super drained, even though I got adequate rest, went to bed early. It was just very strange. And then earlier in the week, I was super drained again. I'm like, what is going on?
You a Virgo?
No, I'm a Capricorn.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to say, you must have felt that shift. You know, the sun just entered Pisces on the Capricorn Draconic chart. I was asleep the whole Monday.
Oh, yeah. I was watching your last video, and I heard you mentioning that. Yeah. you sleep like 36 hours, something like that?
Yeah. I was like, man, I was knocked out. And I was mad about it, too, because I like to be on the move. I'm over here thinking about all the stuff I got to get done, and my brain was like, you're not doing any of that. You're going to sleep.
Same. You know, and honestly, I've been pulled in a lot of different directions. You know, this winter, you know, the past month and a half, when I really just want to hibernate. I really just want to be inside, you know, go to my day job, you know, since that's the one that pays the bills, you know, then just come home and don't do anything else. That's how I've been feeling. I don't know if it's the cosmic energy or if it's just, you know, the season and us being in Jersey and it's cold.
Right.
But, yeah, that's how I've been feeling.
It's been feeling like the more we get in tune with nature and like the flow of things, whether through numbers or the stars, it's like more you want to be in flow. Like it's wintertime. I don't even want to go to work. I don't want to do nothing. I just want to sit here. Like I have my little things that I love to do. You know, I love to make music in the moments where I feel it. I love to, you know, do the podcast and stuff. But like that obligation type energy, yeah, I don't want to feel nothing. I don't want to relax.
Exactly. Yeah. So so maybe that's the energy that I'm feeling with the, you know, with the Mars and with the 11 and the 2 and all of that. So, yeah.
Well, we definitely in the mutable winter time, so we almost there. We're almost to Aries.
Right. We are. We're close. We're close. About a month from now. Yep.
So how y'all probably talked about all this already. I'm a little late. But like how's things flowing in this year of 9? I heard you say Mars is associated with 9, which is very interesting because I be going by the mathematics of this is the year 2025, wisdom in our cipher, wisdom in our power. And that number 5 deals with, in the Netarus, it deals with Hera Kahuti, which is Ogun, Mars energy, you know, when you look at it from a Sephiroth standpoint. So it's like how last year was all about Maya and Chesed. It was a lot of stuff happening during the currencies and the waters. This year is big on fire. And so like, you know, I found that interesting. You said 9 is Mars. That kind of like nipped all that shit in the bud. It's a nice little cliff note right there.
Yeah, that's all fires and accidents and violence and all of those things. Yeah. Yep. And that's what we've been seeing, you know, so far. Like it's like as soon as January hit, it was, you know, forest fires. It was, you know, terrorist attacks, plane crash. It is just a whole bunch of craziness.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I watch this brother on YouTube. His name is Uriel, like Dolo the pilot or something like that. Okay. And he was going in today about how Pisces affects the different houses, and he brought it to my attention because I always feel like I always feel things like a season before everybody else. Like, you know, I'm dealing with a house fire, but my house fire was back in Scorpio season. Like that's when my traumatic events occurred during Scorpio season. So like and he kind of broke it down in such a way where you could see how the clock is shifted between the zodiacs that's ruling over the different houses in your personal chart versus like it was like an aha moment today for me. So it was just like, you know, the way things are shifting right now, like our first house is in Scorpio at the moment. So our 1 o'clock is on that transformation. If we got into the 9th house, the 9th house is in Cancer right now. So it's like, that's where the clock is. And then, you know, you got bars at Cancer, retrograde. I just keep going to that. I'm ready for it to go prograde.
Yeah, well, guess what? And guess what Scorpio rules over? What's connected to Scorpio? Number 9.
Yep.
Number 9. So you had a 9 energy in Scorpio season, and then you probably had I'm not sure when was the last 9 universal month, but It might have been a 9 universal month around that time too, maybe. But yeah, Scorpio was connected to the number 9. So you had that number 9 energy during Scorpio season as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that would have been like October, right? October 24. That's 1 and 8. That's 9. Yeah.
Yep. 9. Yeah, number 9. Yeah, and we call October the preview month. It gives you like the preview of what's to come in the upcoming year. So October was a 9 month, and it was previewing what we were going to see or experience in this 2025 9 year.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. I like that.
Yep. Yeah, a little something that I picked up from my teachers.
Yeah. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where knowledge went.
Yeah, I don't know where he went either,
But in other news, in the 4th and 5th house, the home and family, and the Leo house of your inner child and creative, we got a nice little lineup of planets happening. That's been going on since January, and that's becoming more and more prominent between Pisces and Aries over there. I think we got the Sun, we got the Fortune, we got Mercury, we got Venus, we got Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune. And I think that's so interesting that you said that you got into numerology in 2012, because that's when Neptune entered Pisces energy. We had some major planetary shifts happening in 2012. I would say that's probably when I started embarking on making a business, or like formulating that mindset of, I want to buy land, I want to start a church, I want to do these things in 2012 too. And it's like full circle kind of situation, because I think by the end of this month, we're going to have Neptune entering, if not the end of this month, the end of next month, definitely we're going to have Neptune entering Aries.
Okay.
And so that's going to be kind of crazy.
Okay. Okay. Now, let me ask you this, since you mentioned that planetary shift in 2012. So what are your thoughts on 2012 and the Mayans and the shifts and all that? So is that in alignment with the planetary shifts as far as the whole hoopla about 2012, back in that time?
I think it was like, yes, in a sense of like, I think it was like the end of the world as we knew it, because Neptune rules over like generations, because that's like an 84 year cycle. So it's like, when they talk about like the average human being, I don't know, the people in my life live to be 105, but like the average individual, they want to talk about the life cycle, they like, like around 84, 85, you kind of like at the end of the road. So like, life as they know it in that cycle, definitely. And then that was the year 5. That's interesting.
5. Major changes and shifts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that was like a big spiritual awakening for a lot of people. And I think that if we didn't experience like that Neptune and Pisces the way we did, the way things have been shifted now, like the way our minds have been collectively like manifesting a lot of things that's happening right now. And I know a lot of people are losing their minds, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not happening in the way that we thought it was going to happen, the way we envisioned it happening. But like it is, like we wanted the destruction and minimization of the feds and the government and, the corporations and all these different things. And it's happening in a space. And I think that a lot of that was, brewing way before 2012, but definitely with that energetic shift with Neptune entering Pisces, and both of them ruling over, the subconscious and things beneath the horizon coming out. Ever since 2012, if you pay attention, a lot of different things that like have been hidden, in that space of like, oh yeah, we've been in the age of Pisces this whole time, deceiving y'all, making y'all think certain kind of things. And ever since that little shift, is like everything is coming out to the forefront. Like, nah, this is what we've really been doing. This is what really been going on. Like, y'all like Disney Channel and Nickelodeon, psych. Like, this is like all these different things.
Going on.
And so, and it's been creating a lot of different like shifts, like timeline shifts being created all at once too, or at least people being more aware of the timeline shifts. So yeah, all that to say, I think it was like the end of the life as we knew it, where everybody was like under this cloak of just going with the flow, being a worker bee, not really seeing much past the physical realm. It kind of called on like a nice group of us to start looking up and looking in. And then ever since then, it's just been spreading.
Oh I definitely felt it. I think, personally, 2012 marked, so I mentioned the supreme mathematics as being, the first system of numerology I learned about that time. But I was going down the rabbit hole with a lot of things, during that time, with that being just one of the many things, just spiritually, just with quote unquote, for lack of a better term, conspiracy theories, because they're not theories, they're truths, they're facts. But that definitely marked the time where I really started, going down that journey and going down that rabbit hole of really seeking that knowledge and that information beyond what I was learning in, the formal setting. I was in college during that time.
Me too.
So it was. I definitely felt it for sure. Yep.
Yeah, it definitely was like opening me up to like, oh yeah, because I was in school for psychology and political science, criminal studies, and going through those realms, because it was like, all right, I'm either going to be an artist or I'm going to be a forensic psychologist. It's one or the other. Like, so that's where I was going. The ultimate goal was to be a doctor president. I was trying to run for president at some point in time. So it's just like, I don't know. It was like a weird shift. It was kind of scary too, because I always been like, straight A student, like be on the up and up. This is how you get it done. This is how you do it. And it was like to go from there and feel like I did everything right, to come into a space where everything is just so fluid and none of that shit ever existed. We just got you to do it. Like, what?
Yeah, crazy.
Right, it's been like a really crazy transformation. So I guess that could be a part of the end of life as we know it too. Like all the stuff that we went to school for and we learned and was taught, like this is how you do it. This is the A plus B that equals C or whatever, and ain't no other way to get to C. But now it's like 23,000 different ways to get to C.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's very interesting. Very interesting to say the least.
Agreed.
Yeah. So also, in the first segment, I kind of went into, because I know you do the mathematics, the daily mathematics. So I went into, the frequency for the day. I know we mentioned the 3. I also, I talked about the 3 and the 1, and I focused primarily on the communication part of it, with the 3, and then. Now, as Born pointed out, that is Mercury Day, so that's communication also. And then with the number 1, I touched on the saying what you meaning what you say, getting straight to the point, that energy of the number 1, along with the using your voice to express yourself, with that energy of the number 3. And I also connected it to the universal energy for the entire week. And we're in the number 5 week, which is also, communication and dealing with the public, and that's connected to Gemini also. So that's kind of like, what we talked about in the first segment. It's something that I chose to just touch on while we were, having Killah Priest come through, and then, waiting for you to come in. We kind of built on that. So how do you see, today's energy and today's mathematics?
Well, today is definitely a day of knowledge being born. And then, the 1 and 9 is the connection of the ketters to the space of formation in the Sephiroth. So, giving birth to your thoughts, the aha moments, the thing with the Neterus or the Sephiroths is that I love this concept too. It's like, you're literally the 1% of your 100%. You know what I'm saying? So like the analogy that we've become obsessed with using is, there's 1% of the population that has 99% of the wealth, or 99% of, the spiritual intellect or whatever, what have you. And that's kind of like a representation of yourself. Like you're literally just 1% of like your entire being, like your physical self. When it comes to like your auric body, you're literally only using 1% of your light that comes through to down in the ketters or whatever. So like But in this space, you know, we're giving birth to whatever, you know, light comes through to that Ketters today. And ultimately that'll lead to, you know, knowledge in your cipher. That's the 10. But 10 is also Malkuth or Jeb energy, which is interesting because when you get into the Kemetic calendar, we are in the decan of Jeb, which is the earthly self and bringing things into the physical. Ultimately, today is a day of knowledge. It's a great day for, you know, one life pathers, 4s and 7s, because they're very stable. He tapped into their leadership qualities and things like that. 3, 6, 9s, and people born on the days of 3, 6, 9s, and 5s that like to be all over the place and adventurous and stuff like that. It's a cool day for them too, but a lot of them like to do things with other people, or kind of I won't say they lack in the leadership realm, but it's like the mindset that's needed to say, hey, I'm going to take this foot forward by myself, and eventually people are going to come and follow. Sometimes that's a little wonky with those numbers. So you take the 1 and put it into the month of 2. This is the month of balance, harmony, and justice. And the Sephiroth 2 is associated with Mayat, but 2 is also associated with wisdom, that Chokra Jupiter energy. So, you know, that alignment between, you know, the Sephiroth and the Neterus, and then 2 being, you know, balance and wisdom. And then so that brings us to understanding with that 1 of knowledge and that 2 of wisdom. And I like knowledge is like that light, you get that aha moment, and then you get to that 2 of wisdom when you start exercising that knowledge. Like it's kind of like the analogy I like to use a lot is the scientific method. Like I have this thought, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm about to do the experiment and come up with the statistical analysis. That's the wisdom. And then when I get to understanding, this is when I have my conclusion. And then like being in the year of 9, everything we do in the month of day, we want to give birth to, right? We're in a year of harvest. It's the year of giving birth. And if, you know, pay attention to the pattern, everything we put into the 9s, we get it right back, you know? So basically this year is literally showing us like, hey, if you want to do something, if you putting that energy out there to do it, it's going to get done. But you got to be very like, you know, intentional, because we're also in the year of the wood snake, and the wood snake don't have room for impulsive actions. If you're not planning that stuff out accordingly, like there's going to be details that's missed and you're going to get something back crazy. So, you know, you put the 3 of understanding up into the harvest of the 9, and you're getting back knowledge and wisdom again. So the universe is always giving us our energy back, but in bite sizes. So it's still giving us that opportunity to piece things together. Like, listen, I'm not going to do everything for you. I'm not going to give you exactly what you gave me, but I'm going to give it to you well enough to where you could put it back together and give you yourself back the 3 that you gave me. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's really dope, because it's putting us in a space where like, yeah, trust the universe. You know what I'm saying? The universe is moving in our favor. You can't fail. The only way you can fail is if you don't put that 1 and 2 back together yourself. If you can't recognize that the universe gave you that 1 and 2 back. It's on you. You know what I'm saying? So you can stay at that knowledge and wisdom, or you can bring that back and be like, oh yeah, you did give me the 3 back. You just gave it to me in pieces instead of giving me the whole thing. And now I'm over here overwhelmed, because now I'm trying to hurry up and handle the 3 when I clearly wasn't ready yet. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, today is a day, you know, of understanding in 3. And I, you know, I think, like you said, like, I think that's dope, because 3 is associated with Gemini energy. You know, this a Mercurian day, being a Wednesday, a day of communication and community. And so like all of that flows together. And then like, you know, people listening to this podcast, I've been listening to podcasts kind of all day today, and having certain moments that's brought me into my own understanding of certain things. So like, hopefully everybody's like moving in alignment with that type vibe, and allowing the universe to give them back the 1s and 2s, so they can come back to their 3 by the end of the day. Excuse me.
Yep. That's beautiful. And then, you know, looking at the month and the year with the 11 and the 9, dealing with the master number 11, by us using that communication and making that knowledge born, and having the 2 and the 3, we're providing inspiration and enlightenment, since that's what that 11 is about, that enlightenment. And that number 9 is about inspiration too, on the positive side. You know, we started talking about the challenges of the 9 with all of the craziness that was going on, but on the positive side, you have that inspiration, you have that creativity. 3, 6, 9, those are your artistic numbers right there. So those of you that are into the various forms of art, whether it's visual, performing, or using your voice. That's that's your creativity right there. So yeah, everything is definitely in alignment for sure. And also just to add on about the 19 and to go into what I was telling you about earlier with the Chaldean system and the Pythagorean system. So when we in the Pythagorean system, you would add it all the way up to a 1. So we talked about the number 1 energy. So an example of looking at the compound numbers in the Chaldean, and this is also where we bring in the meaning of the numbers in the tarot system. The number 19, that's the sun card, which denotes success and good luck. And when you add up the 1 and 9, you get the 10. That's the wheel of fortune, which is again, good luck and success as long as you're putting forth, positivity and positive deeds and things of that nature. So I built on the communication parts of the 1, but I also saw today's energy as a day to tap into your creativity, tap into your leadership, tap into your personal power and your confidence, and to pair that with the number 3, which is about personal growth and ambition and self-improvement. So I saw it as a day for you to set ambitious goals for yourself and really step out and be confident and, make it do what it do today.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that because I was born on a 19.
Oh. Yeah,
there goes knowledge.
He had to drop a bomb in there. He's loving the build, it sounds like.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay.
Oh, my mind. Yeah, 19 is a great, that's a great number to have in your numeral scope for sure. Yep, and I know the 19 is also significant. I'm not really versed in that, but I know it's significant in the Nation of Islam as well. That number 19.
Yeah, I don't know too much about that, but yeah, I got introduced to that mindset through like 19 keys, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's another one.
Yeah. When I read the final call paper, they have that section in there about unveiling the number 19. So yeah, that number 19 it must be something special about it if it's coming up in all of these systems as a
I just see like really in alignment with giving birth to your thoughts, like that 1 being Ketters and 9 being your sod, the foundation.
Yep. Yep. And one being the seed planter, because when it comes to the cycles, they happen in 9-year sequences. When you just count the single digits, of course you have your master numbers like your 11s and your 22s, but regardless of how you look at it, the cycle always starts with 1, and 1 is the seed planter. So whatever you do in that 1 cycle is planting the seeds for the next 9 months, the next 9 years, however you look at it. So it's almost like you have like an alpha and omega going on with the 1 and 9 next to each other. Since the 1 is the beginning of the cycle and the 9 is the end of the cycle, and they're both fire numbers. They're both connected to creativity. They're both connected to leadership. Yeah, so it's so all aligned, like you said, the crossroads.
Right. I like it here. You giving me insight on myself. I'm just over here just making it all about it. Like, yeah. My birthday 9/19/1990. I'm just over here like, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
You got a lot of 9s in there.
Yeah.
So you being born in the 9th month. Yeah, this year should especially be significant to you. Whenever you have like 9s in your chart and it's a 9 year, whether it's a 9 universal year or 9 personal year, that means it should be a significant year where you shouldn't have as much resistance. You know, like you should have like the wind on your back when you have that alignment between the personal universal years and the numbers that's in your chart.
It feels like that as long as I get out of my way.
It sounds like both of y'all need to book a consultation with each other and give each other a reading. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So what I want to do real quick, besides play a song real quick, because y'all been going at it and I've been listening to y'all get busy over here the entire time. Sunshine, you know if I disappear, I still hear y'all. What you talking
I know you were somewhere.
Okay. I wanted y'all to meet, you know, this was a Jersey moment. Okay, Jersey was real heavy, so now y'all get the chance to see why y'all likenesses are so important to us and to one another. You know, one of those things of making knowledge born is bringing people together. So when we come back, we're gonna talk Bless Nobodies, convention, all of those things, everything, bringing everything together, and then I want y'all to promote these classes and these things that y'all got going on. It's a whole celestial university in this universal alignment right now. Okay.
Ashe.
So tell somebody that we live with two of the great ones in the world right now. Okay.
We out here.
We out here.
That's right.